Alright guys, welcome back to Mr. Post Frame. Today we are going to be digging in some frost protection insulation. So we build most of our barndominiums on piers unless the client wants a continuous footing wall. So we have to put frost protection down between the piers, and typically we hand dig that in. It's been really dry. I have to do it by myself, and there's like 300 feet. So I rented a Mini X, so this is going to be different than what you normally see me do. We're going to dig all of this in with this mini excavator. So I'm going to get it unloaded, we'll get in there, and we'll show you what we're doing. Alright, so the conclusion 5 minutes in is no matter what I do, it's going to suck. So, I think what I'm going to do, the ground is so hard, I'm going to try to get down as far as I can. I just got to be careful not to hit that outside grate board, and then I'll just dig the last few inches with the shovel. So, I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do this. I mean, ideally, if you can do this before you build your structure, the problem with that is if you get rain, they fill up with water. So, just keep that in mind. One down, and how many more to go, Justin? A whole lot? Alright guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've done this a lot, and this feels really overwhelming to me. So what you have to do is take it one bay at a time, and before you know it, you'll have it done. But I can definitely, I feel the pressure of getting this done, and it's a heavy weight, so you just gotta break it down into small chunks. If you look at the whole project as one, you're gonna get overwhelmed. Even I do when I do these all the time. So I got this one dug in. We're going to use a couple cap nails to hold that up there, and then I'm going to backfill this from both sides. You want to make sure you put a little backfill on both sides so you don't buckle it. Not that it would be a big deal, it's just a lot nicer fit when you put your insulation down below your concrete when it butts up nice and square to that.
Plenty.
Huh?
Plenty deep. Don't do extra work, Paul.
I know, it's hard to try to do stuff and you try to find the easy way, and there just is some things that are just no easy way. Quick reference, that's working out good. Tell you what, these lines are really nice. Alright, I'm gonna go back and do those two, so I'm
Work in the right direction.
I don't have to get to the end and be like, oh man, I still have those two left. Even though it's the same amount of work no matter what, I think it's a mental thing. So what we do is we just take canned foam and fill in any gaps that we have. I mean, it's probably not really going to make a huge difference, but just one of those details that I like to do. I have got this all dug out all the way around. This side I'm pretty darn good. This end wall I'm pretty darn good. But this is the side with the first set of stone all the way down, so it's gonna be a little bit more hand digging on this side because I tried to stay away from the side. Didn't want to accidentally bump that grade board. If I bump it on this side, it's really not gonna matter, but if I bump it on that, I'm afraid it could, you know, if I flexed it enough, it could break it. So we're gonna go ahead and start working my way down, see if I can't get a bunch of this put in today, at least half of it. I might do some more digging with the excavator on that side, but we'll see. I have this thing till 11 tomorrow, so I'm sure I will need it for the whole time. All right, guys, we have 2 bays left, and then just across the front of the garage doors left. Typically, in the past, I've always had at least 2 other guys helping me. We knock this out in a day, no problem, no big deal. By yourself, this can be a little bit more overwhelming. I rented a mini excavator. I think it was a 17G, 18-inch wide bucket. They only had toothed buckets, which I did need, but I really wanted a smooth bucket so that I could clean this out the rest of the way. So what I did is I dug this out as far as I could. So I'm pretty close to the depth. It's just there's a few inches where it curves, where I couldn't get, where the teeth were keeping me from getting down and cleaning it out, that I have to dig out by hand. So it's really not all that bad, but I would recommend a couple different options if you're going to put this insulation in. And it really comes down to timing and time. If you have a few guys, this isn't a big deal to do this after the fact if you're not in a drought and the ground is hard as a rock. Mini X is a good option. You just got to be careful, have somebody that maybe has a little experience or practice before you start digging so you're not hitting the walls. Or put your structure up, leave your grade board off, and I'll try to do this on the next build so you guys can see it, because if we could get the whole structure up, just leave the grade board off, I would have 3 feet where I could come in, go past, and get this dug out all the way to where I wanted it, no problem. Put my grade board up, put my insulation up, then backfill. But that really comes down to timing. So if you're having your structure built, you would have to work with your builder to do that. If you're building it, you could just work it in. But if you leave these trenches open and you get a bunch of rain, they are going to fill up with water. And another problem is if you have these piles of dirt everywhere and gravel, they're in your way of your equipment. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to time it out, figure out what you want to do. There is really no perfect way, I guess. But at the end of the day, you just got to get it done. It's really not all that bad. I started at noon yesterday, and I should be finished. I got here at 8 this morning, worked for about an hour and a half, left, got back at noon, or what, about 11, Justin, I think? And I'm going to have this done in the next half hour, minus, just cleaning this up, which is sitting in a skid steer, so it's not that bad. So when you really think about the amount of time I have in this by myself, it's really not all that bad. So that's just a few things to think about. Depending on where you live in the country will depend on what you're required to do. If you're up in northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, Canada, you might have to go down 3 or 4 feet with this insulation if that's what they require, or have horizontal insulation that goes out. And then based on that, you can determine maybe at that point it is more cost effective and beneficial just to go with a frost wall. I don't know. Just the cost savings for clients with pier foundations saves so much money that it's just what we do here for the most part. But there is no, I guess, right or wrong way to do it as long as you get your frost protection. All right, guys, that's gonna be a wrap on this frost protection video. Hopefully it was useful. The insulation we use is Hitz Halter. We will use that on the whole floor as well and put in-floor heat. So if you guys are interested in this insulation, we actually have a specific video that we'll leave a link to that describes it, tells you about all its great qualities. But hopefully you guys learned something from this. It's a little more difficult than I wanted it to be, but like I explained, if you have a few guys, it's not bad. There are ways to improve the efficiency. You just have to make sure things are timed out properly. But as always, we appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, share us with your friends, and we'll catch you on the next video.